Well, all right, all right, all right. Hello there, everybody out there in Blog Talk Radio land. Honey, it is another glorious Wednesday, despite the clouds that we're having here in the ATL. It's still a glorious Wednesday, honey. You know what time it is. So get your crumpets together, because, baby, it's time to dish tea, and you're dishing tea, darlings, with big meats. I love doing that. Thank you for your love and your support, honey. If you're tuning in right now and you're listening by computer and would like to get in on the conversation, I encourage you, honey, to dial 347-205-9183. Again, that's 347-205-9183. Once you get in, if you want to say something, just press the number 1. Your hand will raise up on my switchboard, honey, and I'll come to you as my time permits, and we'll let you come on in. Okay? Oh, yes, it is a don't come out of a bag Wednesday, honey. Now, guess what? Y'all know me. I'm going to come out of one, right? Because, the last couple of weeks we have had some real heavy stuff, and I'm going to be heavy again today. However, I'm going to take a different approach because I got some topics on the table today that I want you guys to come and join in on, and to let me hear what's going on out there in the world, honey. I know y'all hear my mouth, but I want to hear yours for a change, you know. Let me see what you're thinking. And remember, we may not all agree, but that's okay, because that's what keeps us functioning. That's what keeps the world revolving. It's okay to disagree, just long as we are not disagreeable, okay? I don't want us sitting up here cussing each other out and becoming disrespectful. Having said that, honey, the tea room is open, and I'm going to have those same instructions over there in the tea room. And remember, you guys are just writing, so sometimes it's easy for us to perceive that someone is saying something kind of shadily or angrily or whatever. In any event, darlings, just dish your tea over there responsibly, please, okay? That there is my one and only request as you're here with the show, all right? Now, this is my disclaimer. This show is for mature audiences, and the language and subject matters are not appropriate for children or anyone who is not mature to handle the subject matters. Your listening discretion is advised. Again, your listening discretion is advised. I'm not going to be held responsible, honey, for you know, getting reprimanded on your jobs or this, that, and the other. Everybody knows I have a potty mouth, and I make no excuses for it. It is a part of who I am. I will always try to be as respectful as I can, honey, but y'all know, hey, okay, I'm going to give it to you how I feel it, all right? So if you're listening at work or whatever, you may want to either turn your volume down so it's at a personal level, or put on your headphone sets, child. And, you know, be respectful of the workplace and just know your environment and surroundings, okay? So, all right, now you've been warned. Okay, before we go any further, let me say hello and thank you to all of my sponsors, because without you, I cannot do what it is that I do and to move forward. So we're going to start with Trade Day Management and PR Firm. At Trade Day, enjoy a touch of Southern hospitality with a universal appeal. For all of your public relations and entertainment management needs, contact Travion Davenport at 678-523-3088, 678-523-3088, or email at tradedaypr@gmail.com. That's Trade Day, TREADAYPR @gmail.com. Pharaoh's Treasure Box. Fine art, unique jewelry, and sensational 3D silk flow arrangements, creations by Taps. For all of your decorative needs, contact Pharaoh's Treasure Box at 248-688-5178 or 79, 248-688-5178 or 79, or email at Pharaoh's Treasure Box at Comcast.net. Pharaoh's Treasure Box at Comcast.net. Parisian Wine Productions, music to lighten your spirits and lift your souls, specializing in gospel and inspirational house dance music and tracks. For all of your gospel and Christian sets, contact the production needs of Paris Harrison. He's the CEO at 347-406-7734. That's 347-406-7734, or email at paris42268 @yahoo.com. That's paris42268 @yahoo.com. Life Fellowship of Christ Ministries, Live in Freedom Everywhere, LIFE. Reverend James Coleman is the leader and founder of the Ecumenical Social Justice Ministries, brought forth to free the oppressed and introducing a fresh approach to the Christ consciousness. Contact Reverend Coleman at 313-833-9278, 313-833-9278, or email at mustardcole@yahoo.com. That's mustardcole@yahoo.com. Each of Vidal Couture. Enjoy high fashion with a luxurious twist. Step into the future with fresh, innovative couture. Designs by Miss Michi DeVille. For more information, contact Michi at 313-996-9807, 313-996-9807, or contact her on Facebook. That's facebook.com/MICHIEEDEVALE, Michi DeVille. Big Brothers Network, the BBN, a new online web magazine designed to show the world the class and style of the debonair man of size and his admirers. The first edition was launched this past Memorial Day weekend. For more information, please contact Tony Brown at BigBrothersNetwork.com. That's Tony at BigBrothersNetwork.com, BigBrothersNetwork.com. Yes. Caribbean Boys Entertainment, the CABC. Yes, we provide catering, we promote, we entertain, and provide special services with a Caribbean swagger, island flavor on the mainland. Bam, bam. Mr. Silvano T. DeMarco is the CEO and founder of the CABC. For more information, contact Silvano at CaribbeanBoysATL@yahoo.com. That's Caribbean Boys with a Z, ATL @yahoo.com, or on Facebook at facebook.com/Silvano T. DeMarco. That's SYLVANOTDMARCO. Kissing After Dark. Kissing After Dark, Atlanta's premier social events for all those who are tired of the same old party scene. The premier events are across at the ATL, where the grown and sexy can become the seasoned and sophisticated. Every Wednesday at the Banana Wind, right in the underground Atlanta. Join Kissing After Dark for Lesbian Wednesdays, the hottest lesbian, bi-attractional, bi-curious party in the ATL. Doors open at 8 o'clock until there is no cover at Banana Wind. $3 drink specials, and they got $10 buckets. Baby, for more information, go to facebook.com, Kissing After Dark. That's KISSN After Dark. KISSN After Dark. Swirl Films, the #1 urban film production company specializing in all areas of film production, including directing, producing, script writing, budgeting, and scheduling, promotion, assembling, and post-production. For more information, contact Eric Thomasounis, Russ Parr, or Keith Neal at 910-798-2934, 910-798-2934, or you can email at info@swirlfilms.com, info@swirlfilms.com. All right. So there we have it, babies. Thank you to all of my sponsors. We got special announcements coming up later. So I want to make sure that all of you are up to date and up to snuff, okay? So let's get into this thing. Now, I have a few topics here that I'm going to tackle. Some of this may be news to you. Some of it may not. However, we are on the heels of a lot that's been going on in the community, okay? Y'all know a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the whole Eddie Long debacle. Last week, we were talking about the suicides of the teens and carrying that's going on. But, you know, this week, baby, I got a hodgepodge of stuff because there's another pastor who got arrested in Las Vegas. And he is being charged with 11 counts of sexual abuse to minors, male minors from his church. His name is Pastor Billy Eckstein McCurdy of the Revival Temple Church of God in Christ out there in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, when I heard this, you know, I had multiple problems because Number one, I'm very, very big on making sure that our babies are protected. Y'all know that, okay? If you don't, shame on you, because everybody should be that way. The babies didn't ask to be here. That there came from your lust and your whatevers, honey, okay? For those of you who laid down willingly, I'm not talking about those who bore the children because you were sexually assaulted yourself. That was a crime. But out of love, you kept the child, and we're going to talk about that in another time. But right now, I'm talking about those of you who got hot and nutted and bothered in your pants and laid down without taking the necessary precautions, and now you got all these babies here. Okay? So the children did not ask to be here. And here, again, we have someone who is a trusted member of the society who has adulterated and abused that trust, and now there's 11 counts of sexual abuse charges against this pastor. He was arrested this past Friday, okay? Now, here's the interesting twist on this particular story. This is not the first time he was arrested for this. He was arrested before, the first time back in 2005, for the same thing. However, at that time, they did not have enough evidence to prove that the story was correct. He had 2 charges of sexual assault against him at that time, and according to the news reports that I've read, they did not or could not corroborate the story. It was hard to pin down any evidence. So they let him go. Here it is, 5 years later. This time you have 11 counts against you, and now they've set up there and locked his ass up, okay? Now, I have a conflicting story somewhere because I just read that he may have been released this past Monday, but the reason why I say conflicting because when I read it on the Internet, it looked as if it was current or recent. However, it's marked up under the 2005 archives for this particular website that I was on. So I'm not exactly sure if he was released yet or not, but from what I'm reading, it read as if he was just released on the $3,000 bond. But I'm not sure if that's this current case or if it's just mislabeled or misdated because there's no date in the report itself, which was odd because it came from a news station. So, yeah, so that's where we are. But I want to know your thoughts on it because here's the question. The question is the state of the black church. Do you really believe that it's time for the black church to have its awakening? Now, I'm going to give you something here because this is what was taught to me when I was 17 and I was attending, what was the name of the church at the time? Lord have mercy. Oh, I live right down the street from it on the corner, right there, Rosa Park Boulevard and Delaware. I can't call it right now. It slips my mind. They've since moved. I can't call the name of it. But at that particular time, we were told and taught that when God is going to return, the church needs to get ready because he's coming back through the black church. That was taught from the pulpit. Now, isn't that very interesting that in this day and age when everybody want to scream how much are we in the last days or whatever, that the black church is going up against all this kind of peril right now, particularly with sexual abuse and sexual allegations coming from the leaders of the church. Now, a lot of us, we know that it's been an ongoing thing. This is not nothing new. I've been tweeting and Facebooking, and everybody's like, well, this ain't nothing new, this ain't nothing new, they ain't going to do nothing about it, and this going to carry on, and yakety, smackety, blase, splings. However, it has been going on, but not once has it been in the forefront. Okay. It's not been readily talked about. It has not been accepted or, actually dealt with because you know, we've all been taught that this kind of stuff is supposed to be hush hush, and a lot of the stuff that I'm saying, I said at the time that we were talking about Eddie Long, but here it is. You know, it's going to be more coming out, as you guys know, because it's going to seem as though it's copycat. However, it's not that it's copycat. It's just that this has been going on. And as we all know, what's done in the dark is going to come to the light. So let me hear what y'all got to think on that, because I think that is rather interesting. Now, as I said, honey, he's been arrested and not sure what if he was released this past Monday or if that was a previous report from the 2005 arrest, okay? But right now I know that he has been arrested for 11 counts of sexual abuse. Now, let me go here, because in lieu of all this going on, I don't know why, I don't know how, but over this past weekend, since we've last were here, there has been such a heinous crime committed in the Bronx. And I don't know if many of you have heard about it. However, there was a Latin gang. I think they call themselves the Latin Night Goonies or something equivalent to that. Well, apparently, they have come across this young man. He was about 17 years old. And when they came upon him, they have beat him, you know, literally kidnapped him, if you will, and taken him to this remote area. They beat him severely and was forcing him or wanting to force him to perform or orally copulate one of the people that was within the gang. And because of his refusal or his resistance or whatever it was, they continued to beat him. And then they sodomized him with the handle of a plunger. Now, I don't want to get into too many details about that kind of activity, because it's early afternoon and a lot of y'all can't handle it, because if I say it like I want to say it, it'll be a little bit that way for you, and you're not ready for it. So I'm going to respect you, especially all of my heterosexual folks. I'll respect you enough not to go there. However, having said that, just the idea, the force, the implication, and the nastiness and the hate behind what they've done to him, to actually take a piece of wood and forcefully destroy him the way that they did, is, you know, I don't know how to put any of that into words. It's just really there, okay? Now, he was hospitalized and all of that. I'm not sure of his condition at this particular time, but nonetheless, that was a heinous criminal act, okay? Now, there's more to that story, child. The gang members, now, there were 9 of them. They had arrested 7. They caught the 8th one because when they were with the boy, they stole his keys, went to his apartment, and in that, they accosted the grandmother and duct taped her and tied her up, beat up his brother, and then ransacked the house. I guess they were stealing something. That is unclear. But nonetheless, they did all that. And the 8th gang member was caught by the police then. The 9th one is still on the loose. Now, looking from the photograph, and you can Google this for those of you who are on the computers, all of the information that I'm telling you, honey, all you got to do is go Google it, because I'm not giving you nothing that was not public knowledge, okay, or is a part of the public record. But that there is that, okay? So looking at the picture, the child, the gang, he looks young, and from making the assumption, most of those gang members were rather young, 25 and younger. So here we are again, folks, and for those of you who are old enough to remember, we had such a surge of gay bashings back in the mid-'80s. Every time we turned around, there was something about gay bashing. And at that time, and this is not to justify it, by no means, but there was a direct cause and effect, because at that time, that's when HIV and AIDS got very big, and the direct correlation between beating up on gay folks and the fear of HIV and AIDS, you could see the correlation. Here, nobody is understanding what the hell this resurgence is about. Here we have all, we like I said, we got the stuff going down with the pastors and the church and carrying on, particularly the African-American church and the black church and this, that, and the other, where this has become just very explosive. We are having, a lot of the bullying and this, that, and the third going on all over again because of people being gay or perceived to be gay. And now we have the gang members again starting in on LGBT folks. And I'm not understanding where it's coming from. I don't understand what's going on. A lot of folks are speculating and saying that, because of the don't ask, don't tell policy, and all of its madness that has been in the news and everything, and in popular culture once again, that a lot of folks are acting out of fear, out of this, out of that, and I'm not understanding it. So y'all tell me what y'all think, okay? What is it that you think is going on? What is your perspective on it? Come on and ring on in at 347-205-9183. 347-205-9183. Now, I'm going to get a little political here. That was my second topic. Now, here's a hot button, don't push the red one moment, because I am getting very sick and tired, and I mean it, sick and tired of my president being accused and blamed for shit that happened prior to him coming into office. I'm getting sick and tired of my president being accused and blamed for shit when the Congress ties his hands. He's activated and wanted to activate programs or whatever, but everything it keeps getting voted down. It keeps getting on a slant that's looking like as if he don't know what the hell it is he's doing. He says this and Congress voted down. Every time they go there and have an idea of his, it gets voted down. He's getting blamed for all of this spending and this, that, and the other. Well, that didn't work and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of it is coming from a lot of those who deem themselves to be conservatives. Okay? Now, one of the things that I'm learning about the conservative voice is that the conservative people, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it seems as if the conservative people don't like change. They don't want nothing to change. They don't want anything. They're stuck in their ways, and they want everything to be as it is. Okay? I want this to be this way. I want that to be that way. And I'm not understanding the way the times change, why the conservative view hasn't changed. Because everything that is conservative doesn't work in the day and age of the times that we live in. It's not working, not completely. But there are some ground rules that they have, some basic principles that are still the same. You don't hurt nobody. You do unto others as you would have them do unto you. The basic core stuff that I get, okay, and why they want to be conservative. Okay, I get the basics, but the extra shit, I'm not understanding. I don't understand how a conservative right, and this is not Republican or Democratic, because there are conservative Democrats and there's liberal Republicans. Okay, what I'm not understanding is, why is it that these people are not open to change and understanding and blasé speak? Everybody got a mouth, everybody got something to say, but nobody comes up with solutions. You know what I'm saying? And I get tired of that. I get tired of debating that. I get tired of seeing this here and there. I just get tired of it. So for those of you who are political junkies out there, I invite you to come on and let me hear what the hell you got to say. Okay? I want to hear you. I want to hear what it is that, give me a solution. Don't just call and tell me what you don't like. Give me a solution. And if you can give it to me, have you been able to write it out and send it to your congressman and send it to the folks that it matters to, so that they can have something to work with? Have you considered that? Because a lot of us sit down here and we just go through this, that, and the other, and not do anything with it. It just becomes fodder, tabloid fodder, and then we want to sit up there and pick and choose and point fingers, and I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it, and I would like to hear from you. And we're going to go right here, 404-931-404931. You are dishing tea with Big Meat. And come on up in here and say your piece, baby. Wait a minute, hold on. What's going on with me? There you go. Hey, caller.
Hey, good day. How you doing?
Hey, hey, what's up?
What's up? This is Savannah DeMarco. How are you?
Oh, I am everything, honey, and everything is me. What's the word, player?
Right here. Hey, only intake I really got. I'm not really into politics, to be honest with you. But it just like the way you feel, I feel the same way. Every minute he's getting shoot down. The root of this whole problem is racism. That's the root of all the people is racism. So right now, in whoever's mind, if it's a different racism, if it's conservatives or Republican, whatever's in mind right now, is their main thinking is, hey, he's black, we need to make it. We need to make sure he ain't make it, no matter what. We'll try to chop him down any type of way, any means necessary. He's not going to make it. We're going to make sure he stays down. That's it. It's just cut and dry like that. I mean, that's what we want to look at it. Everything is based on the root, but they're not going to come out there because it's going to be a big controversy. But the root, the main root, the evil root is racism right now. That's the problem.
Interesting. Interesting. But let me ask this. Because, I've always said that since Obama has been the president and has been elected the president, and by an overwhelming margin he's been elected the president. Yes. Since this time, our people, black folks here, I've always said that every black person is still, well, not every, but, those who got the biggest mouth talking about how much they don't like him are still looking for what I call the hookup. They waiting on the brother hookup. And every time folks have gotten upset about it, they're talking about what our issues are as black folks and this, that, and the other. I have not once heard anybody sit up there and identify all of the issues that are specifically to our culture. Everything that they say is universal. They say healthcare, that's universal. They say jobs, that's universal across the country. What about those black folks, honey, who are looking for the hookup? Well, they how we do with bootleg cable care. We got the hookup man. Those who are looking for that. Do you feel that that's a lot of internalized racism as well on the part of blacks in particular, or is it part of that we see a brother done made it, so how we get that crab in the barrel kind of mentality? We're gonna do what we can to knock them down.
Right, I understand what you're saying, but I don't think it's that. I mean, to be honest, like I said, my whole philosophy is, that's just that whole situation. And like I said, it's the root, it's a racism, but it's hard for Obama to try to clean up 8 years of mess. Period. It's hard for him, and from what I'm seeing, he's trying and he's improving. But of course, he's always going to be shot down by the conservatives all the time. By the conservatives and Republicans, there's always going to be that issue. As long as this man is in power, it's going to be an issue. So all the basic thing is everybody just got to pray for him. Hope he succeeds within so many years of his term.
All right. Well, you know what? All right, I'll leave it at that, honey, because I'm just sick of it. I'm so sick of it. The man can't catch a break one way or another, honey. He do right, somebody, and it's more than just saying, you can't please everybody. It's more than that, because for whatever reasons, everybody takes this administration so personal, and right. They're also at a point where, they want literal interpretation of everything that he promised on the campaign trail. And he's come out and said, well, I've done this and I've done that. And if you look over our records, when we introduced this, it was the Congress that voted this down. When we introduced that, it was the Congress that voted it down. And it's not like he can have a magic wand and tell them what to do, because that's the whole battle, the check and balance of the Congress and the presidency. If they vote it down, then it's no good no more. So I'm just so sick of everything that they do like that, honey. It makes no sense to me. And
so right now he's between a rock and a hard place, correct?
Exactly. And that's how I'm looking at it, And so when it's time for tough decisions to be made, no, of course they're not going to please everybody, because that's why the decision is so tough. But, there's talk that, he's supposed to be going in here and the Democrats are trying to take the 401k and this, that, and the other. And I read this in the conservative newspaper. I've not heard that on any other news report yet. I just read this because it was somebody sent it to me on my Facebook page. And when he sent me the link, it was a conservative newspaper. And I'm like, okay, am I to trust this? Because y'all don't like it, I don't know. I don't see any balance in the article or anything, so I don't know. And right now it's just, I just get sick of it. So yeah, there is that. So, all right.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, baby. Well, thank you for your input on this. I was going to say your 2 cents on this dollar, honey, but no, I think you just sit up there, just put $1 on the table. So come on, we finna put some more in the pot, child.
Copy that.
All right, well, call it bam bam, baby, bam bam. Okay. Thank you so much. I'm gonna put you back down over here. All right, folks. So you heard it right there, child. Basically, they're saying that, it's racism as the underlining note to this, as the root of the problem. So if you believe that, come on, talk to me. Let's put it on out there, because I think what's happening is that along the racism line, that we're actually at a point in our lives right now where we're actually dealing with it. No more can we sweep it up under the carpet like we used to anymore. No more can, our counterparts sit up there and say that we're just making up stories or whatever. Why is everything on? We have to go to race. And why? Because it is. It has become so blatantly apparent. The power dynamic has shifted here in this country, and folks don't know how to handle that. They don't know how to handle it. A black man or a biracial man, for those of you who want to be correct about it, has the power now. And a lot of kids don't know how to handle that, So that there is that. So that there was another one of the topics that I wanted to talk about today. And then also, I said every time we do a Don't Come Out of the Bag Wednesday, I was going to give you an update and talk to my big boys out there, because I love being a part of the big boy community. I have no choice. I've been a big boy all of my life. I'm standing at 6'4". Currently, I know I'm still over 400, but I'm not as big as I used to be. I got to get on the scale because I need to know how much weight that I've lost. I've lost some weight. Yay! Oh, the diva has been losing a few pounds, child. Okay, between my smoothies and carrying on, and here is the revolution. For those of you who follow me on Facebook, honey, I've been giving you my progress, and that is, baby, I done got on this damn treadmill. Okay, and here is my secret. See, y'all know these little iPods and stuff, right? Everybody got a little iPod. Well, Okay, that's cute. It's wonderful. It's lovely because it is what it is. Okay, I can store more music. I don't have to worry about bumping it and carrying on. You know, like we did with our CD Walkmans and things. I don't have to worry about the cassette Walkman chewing up my tape or whatever. I just download the damn songs, honey, and I hit it. Well, that there has become lovely because everybody, y'all know I'm a music nut, okay? And what has happened is that we done sit up here and found some jewels on YouTube, okay? And if you got YouTube and you have your real player download on your computer, so you can download the videos from YouTube onto your real player, and then your real player will take and turn the video into an MP3 audio. Baby, when I tell you, I done found some jewels of music. Just like, did y'all like the opening song, honey? That was Johnny Bristol. And I wouldn't change a thing if I had to live my life all over because I wouldn't be who I am today. Okay, yes, we had hardships and this, that, and the other, but I couldn't change nothing because I wouldn't be me, the me that I know. So that jewel right there and carrying on, baby, I done downloaded into this iPod, and it fuels me. So when I get on the treadmill, I'm walking to this fabulous music, and I'm walking, and then I forget that I'm on the treadmill because my music takes me to a whole nother zone. So with that, I'm on the treadmill. I started working out, what was it? Was it Sunday or Monday? Because I didn't do anything. I didn't go to work last night. I was going to take a break anyway because I think I did like 3 or 4 days consecutive. And then I was going to take a break and then get back together with it. So that there is what I am doing, honey. I'm doing 30 to 35. No, I've done 43 minutes the day before yesterday. 43 minutes. I'm burning calories because it gives me my calorie burn, and then what I've done as far as my walking is concerned, because I'm almost up to 2 miles on the treadmill. But it's fun, and child, if I post a video up on YouTube of me walking on this thing, honey, y'all laugh because I'm slightly dancing, or I'm walking to the beat, and this, that, and the other. So, and I actually get to see me walking. Okay, I knew I walked like my mother, but y'all know on the treadmill it's a machine, so it keeps your pace. So, child, these hips just get to popping and bopping and carrying on, honey. I didn't realize how much like my mother I walked. And now I'm understanding why folks always talk about me or got something to say because they tease me. I went into child, you act like you on the runway somewhere. I'm like, honey, I walk like my mama. I can't help that. But it's fun. And to all of my big boys out there, I'm encouraging you, honeys. Let's get moving. It's time for us to put some movement into our regime because now let me get very blunt and very honest. Okay, because one of the things about Big Bois and a lot of the criticism and stuff that comes for the Big Boy community is about endurance and stamina. A lot of who say size matters and this, that, and the other. A lot of folks look at penis sizes and this, that, and the other. And so the research has indicated that for it's between 30 and 50 pounds. One time they say 50, the other time they say 30. So between 30 and 50 pounds, for every 30 to 50 pounds that you lose, a man gains an inch downstairs. So those of us who are, and I hate this term, but I'm going to be technical because that's what they deem it, morbidly obese. A lot of us have stamina problems and this, that, and the other, and we resort to, we got to pull a couple of tricks out of our bags when you want to be physically intimate with someone. Other things is, your health, as far as your heavy breathing. I'm already asthmatic, so, with the extra weight, it causes my breathing to sound like I'm suffocating, Half of y'all probably hear it when I'm sitting up here talking with y'all on the line. You hear this deep breath that I have to take and this, that, and the other. And a lot of it, is from the weight. And partly asthma, but, from the weight as well. So we want to correct that so that I can sound, a bit normal, a bit whatever. Also, we're looking at other ailments, diabetes and circulation problems and all of those kinds of things. And it's just time for us as a Big Boy community to embrace that. You have to be honest with it, babies. And once you're honest with it, then it doesn't become such a scary ride anymore. And also, and I've said this the one time before, that we've got to stop competing with ourselves from back when we were younger. I know that's one of my issues. When I was 17 and 25 and, this, that, and the third, honey, a bitch was able to twirl and this and that and jackety and, get it real good and real good again and yeah. However, I'm not that same person anymore. And, quite frankly, you've gotten wiser, you've gotten a little older. So now it's just time to get everything in sync. So that's what I'm working on. So for all of my big boys out there, I know you guys are, when I was starting on this, I told you I was going to keep you abreast of what's going on with me. Yes, I've changed a lot in my diet. I still got to work on a couple of things because I still have my moments where sugar and stuff. I got a thing for sweets, and I'm one for bread. So I've got to get a balance on that because right now it's not balanced. Once I can balance that out even further, then you'll be able to negotiate and flip it with me and carry it on. So that there is that. So that's my progress right now. With the calorie counting and things, it keeps me from getting something sweet after the workout. Ain't that cute? Because I know I swore the other day I had did this old fabulous workout and I wanted a piece of chocolate so bad, but I had just burned like 344 calories that day, right, off of the workout. So it didn't make sense to go and eat the damn 250 calorie Snickers because it wouldn't have, what was the point of the workout? You know what I'm saying? It didn't make sense. So I ended up opting out for some water, and I had some prunes because I like the taste of prunes. So when I did that, it satisfied me. The prunes were naturally sweet, so it got it was able to take that edge off of me. And then we called it grace. Okay. Now, of course, because it was late at night, I try to eat every 4 hours or whatever. I end up coming home, and I ate a modest amount of chili when I got home. But the chili was a healthy batch of chili because of how Little Meech made it. And, it got all the vegetables and carried on in it and things of that nature. The seasonings and stuff were really good. And so it was a healthy batch. It wasn't full of a lot of the fat and carrying on that we know chili to have if it's, you don't drain the grease and this, that, and the other. Because it was cute. It was just a healthy thing for me. So that there, I was able to swap out. You know what I'm saying? So for my big boys out there, that there is what I'm working on, and I want to be an example for our community because I don't just want to talk about it. I want to be about it, okay? So with that, all of you out there who are looking at Big Meech on Facebook, they call it Team Meech because every time I post stuff, everybody's jumping on the wagon and say they own Team Meech. So, okay, let's be on Team Meech, and let's get it together. So that there is all of my big boys out there. So there is that. So now we are here. So going back to the top of the show, the pastor being arrested. The question was, what kind of praying are you doing, honey? Are you P-R-A-Y praying for the folks, or are you P-R-E-Y praying on the folks, becoming a predator? Do you think that a lot of that, the folks who are accused of these things, and mind you, here we go again, in the report they're saying that the man using these scriptures to, manipulate the scriptures and things and saying that, they were justifying their particular they were justifying the abuse. Now, that's what came out in this particular thing as well. So, what's up, church? What's up? What is up? Because one minute you're telling us that we wrong, and you're blaming us and want to, backbite us and this, that, and the third, and yakety smackety. But then here it is, you sitting up there using the scriptures to justify all your madness and all of what I call to be a sickness. Because if you prey on children, that's a sickness. Okay? And I want you to hear me, because when I was 16 and going through all those changes, I knew what I was doing at 16, okay? I knew how to be manipulative. I knew what to say, how to get what I wanted, and this, that, and the other from the adults that I ended up having relations with, okay? But as the adult, it is your responsibility to be able to weed through that. Especially with a child. What do you and a child have in common? Okay? Outside of the fact that you guys were born the same way. You know what I'm saying? For you to go out and prey upon these folks, I'm just not understanding it. I don't understand it. I don't get it. And I wish, it is my praise report that when all this is done, that everyone is going to stand in truth, that everyone is going to be themselves, their authentic self, their wonderful selves, and then forgive themselves for causing so much pain, and then moving forward. Okay. I think let me play this song right here, because this will sum up a lot. Hold on. This is Selena Johnson.
Just for
Well, all right. That's Miss Selena Johnson. She said, I just want to be me, honey. And I think that there is, that's going to be my praise report. When all of this is done and all of the hurt and the shame has come out and we're able to move beyond all of this because it's going to pass, I'm just hoping and praying for folks to stand up in their authentic truth and just be themselves. Okay? So, yeah, I've been ranting and I've been bantering enough. I think I am going to make this a short show because this is a don't come out of the bag day. And apparently y'all must be in agreement with me because a lot of folks, I see you listening, but you may be in that space of not wanting to talk about it. Because, when you think about it, sometimes you're just like, okay, what is it? What is it? Why? So, but before I leave, let me read this because I have put this up. This was written this year. It doesn't have an actual date. It was just copywritten here in 2010. I found this on Ruth McDonald's blog site, Bella Online, the Voice of Women. And this was her take. She says, the state of the black church. And I want to read this little excerpt here. When she says, some people think about the black church, often thoughts of emotionalism, loud preaching, long-winded sermons, staunched in tradition come to mind. For some churches, this may ring true. However, if you were to ask older African Americans what the church means to them, most would tell you that it was their faith that got them through and that the church was a place that they would come to worship, fellowship, and have a sense of pride. It was a place where they gained hope for a better life, where they learned to forge ahead through many difficult times, and where they gained encouragement. And if you were to ask them about their pastor, you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone that would say anything negative. The black church was not only for church services, but also a community hub that let everyone know what was going on in their community, their city, their state, and how things were going to affect them. Many of the older African-American leaders and activists came to the church, many being ministers and teachers. During the Civil Rights era, the majority of its activists were birthed in the church, with many of them being pastors forging ahead and rallying for a better tomorrow through politics and God as their lead. There wasn't time for separation of church and state. It was a time to bring the Spirit of God to the state and to bring about equal rights for all mankind. For the African American, God was the captain of the ship, and the church was the dock where its members boarded and became prepared to do battle and receive assignments. Interesting. She continues on with a few things, but I read that in particular because that there was what the church was supposed to have been about. However, with the upset of the black church that we have now, again, how are you praying? Are you pray and praying for and to souls and, about souls and wishing for prosperity for all of those who are God's children? Or are you praying preying and becoming a predator to go out to assassinate and to take and forge yourself and to forge your own ideals onto the people? So that there is going to be one of those hard-pressed questions, dear hearts. I'm going to leave you with that because right now I just see us having to take time to reevaluate that. A lot of everything that we have been taught to believe is in peril right now. It's being challenged, and it's time for us to individually step up and find out what it is that we believe versus what has been taught as fodder. We have to really dig deep, sift it through, and find out what works for us and what doesn't work. And if it doesn't work for you individually, does not mean it may not work for us collectively. You know what I'm saying? So that's why understanding who you are in this game is always important. So So as the song said, I just want to be me, whoever I am. Let me be me without hurt, harm, danger, ridicule, or scorn to come my way. So with that, I am going to take this time, honey, and say thank you for listening. Let me say this as well. For all of you who have organizations out there, if you are an organization that's building the communities, that is out there for either if you're youth-centered or you are about LGBT issues or you are about the empowerment of our community as a whole. If you are an LGBT ally and understand what it means, for us to come together and work together. If you have the straight gay alliances that you started in your schools or whatever the case may be, so that we can get rid of homophobia and learn how to accept and believe in one another and to build one another up versus destroying them, the BBN, the Big Brothers Network, is offering you a full-page ad on the web magazine for no charge. He will allow you to come in, and we're going to do this until the message goes clear of what's going on. I want you to take advantage of that. So if you know of an organization that needs to benefit from it or whatever, please email at Tony@BigBrothersNetwork.com. That's TONY at BIGBROTHAS Network.com. That there it would be wonderful, honey. That's a wonderful start for you to let folks know who you are about, and then also so that we can network and partner with one another, so that we can, we can get on the game and get into doing the work that is required to save our communities and to basically save ourselves. Also, the Black African Holocaust Conference is coming up November 19th here in Atlanta. We will be honoring Dick Gregory and the accomplishments of comedian Paul Mooney. So it's going to be here in Atlanta at the Westin Atlanta Airport Hotel, November 19th. If you want information on how to become a sponsor, because they will have a souvenir booklet together, and you can be a patron for as little as $10 so that you can get your network on and carrying on. Email me at dishingteawithbigmeech@gmail.com, and I will forward you all the information so that you can partake of this particular event. It's the 19th anniversary, and this is a place where African-American leaders and writers and those who are down for the cause are going to be here to help propel the community into the next century, and so that we can come together with these problems. Now, I'm hoping that they address this black church issue. We're not sure yet, but the minister, Louis Farrakhan, may be in attendance. He hasn't confirmed, but it's possible that he may be there. So for those of you who are followers of him, you may want to make sure that you find out more information about that. So with that in mind, yes. Also, save the date. I believe it's June 4th, 2011. Pharaoh's Treasure Box will be presenting its Five More Artists Detroit, an evening of art, jazz, and theater. And so when we just save the date for that, that's going to be coming soon. So as we get more information, we're going to forward that to you so you get your tickets and come on out and see some beautiful art and listen to some fine jazz. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. It's a good time. And then you get to meet me in person. For those of you who haven't met me yet, I'll be there. So with that, those are my special announcements for right now. And I am going to say it is a beautiful Wednesday, and we're going to move forward. So with that in mind, my sugar babies, I will see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat station, because right now Wonder Woman, honey, Miss Diana Prince is going back to Paradise Island, honey, for a good retreat. So with that, I thank you all for your love and your support, honey. If you love me, tell your friends. If you don't love me, tell your enemies. But one thing is for certain, honey, this thing will move forward. So with all of that, honey, thank you for dishing tea, darling, with Big Meech, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.